make everything work. I was introduced, but if you don't know me, I'm Janet Cruz. So this year I'm programs chair along with my illustrious team of Shelley, Sue, and Felix, and Denny, wherever Denny is. So we can't forget that Denny is an important part. Is an important part of making programs work. Am I right, Sue? Right? And there's a few things that he's done here that's in this presentation. So I want to start out doing is kind of give an overview of what we did in this last year. So that's been when I've been working with this wonderful team. So I wanted to give everything that we've done. We had lots of happy hours. We started out with a burger tour. I don't know if anybody really knew it was a burger tour other than Felix, but it was fun. The market at Malcolm Harris was a really good time. I hadn't been there before. We went to a vineyard, and then we went to a vineyard again, and then we went back to that same vineyard again. And that same vineyard, it has a gift certificate over in the corner there. But thank you, Shelley, for bringing 7 vines to our attention, because it's really pretty awesome. It's a fun place to go. We went to an Irish pub, a Mississippi pub, and a whip pub. I don't exactly know what a whip pub is. And then we went to a brewery, and then another brewery, and then another brewery. And last we went to another brewery, and we get really a lot of attendance at breweries. So Sue, you're right about that. We went to a wine bar, which was fun. Not very many people showed up for that, which was beyond me, because that was one of the ones that I organized. So we went drinking and axe throwing at the same time, which is always a good idea. We went drinking in Washington, Square and White Bear. We went drinking with Wild Bill. And we went to a rooftop distillery and an old blacksmith distillery with very interesting furniture. So a few weeks ago we were at 11 Wells, which is the old Schmidt Brewery. Not all that far from here, the east side. The best lemon drop I've ever had in my life. Like really, really interesting. But it was an old blacksmith shop, and it was kind of a fun place to be. And we went to a fancy cocktail bar to amp us up for Thanksgiving. So those are all the things that we did last year that just involved drinking. Drinking for this one. All right, so the programs that we did, so we did some other fun things. So we had a very hot golfing 18 holes at Keller. We're going to do that again, even though it was hot. We had a really, really good time. So who was there? Cindy was there, Shelley was there, Char was there. Yeah, very fun. So we're going to do that again in June. That date will be coming up pretty quick. We had a very fun Sunday fun day getaway at Bridge Crossing and hike. It was just Chris and I that hiked, everybody else hiked, but we had a good time. We went to the Saints game. We went to a very windy paddle down the St. Croix, but that didn't deter anybody. We had to figure out how to get across that very windy river. Ben and Joanne and I were on one side of the river, and then we kind of got over the other side of the river, and then we didn't care anymore after a while. We had a very fun event of Wines of the World. We don't have very many pictures from that, unfortunately, so we'll do a good job. Yeah, I don't know. Probably because we were having a good time. So we had more events. In September, we had our membership drive. Alyssa was there. We had a annual chili and pie cook-off, which was also fun. Jason, thanks for hosting that again. I don't know if you know it, but you're on the hook for next year, too. So, if you haven't been, you got to come just to see this great, awesome place that Jason has on this lake with the sunset, and that is really nice. But the most important thing with that chili was who won the chili contest. That was me. Thank you. Thank you very much. Make a Revenge of the Alamo. If you want the recipe, I'm happy to share it. It has no beans. And then we had the 3M Club beer and cider tasting, Lauren Miller premiere, and then Joanne hosted before and after at her house, and it was perfect because there was a big snowstorm. So we walked a few blocks, which was like 8 blocks to this theater, and then we had to walk back, and it was even worse. And then at the end of the year was this ice dive, and then we have more information on that coming up pretty shortly. All right. So we had some trips. We went to Spirit Mountain in January. Again, I went on that one. I have no pictures whatsoever, so we're going to do better. We're going to absolutely do better. Lots of discussion about going to Mount Bohemia, but it didn't come through. In fact, we tried to plan it for a trip, and then we had Steve wanted to do it a little bit later. So I think Mount Bohemia is going to be like our goal for next year. We're going to make it happen as a trip event. But we did go to Lutzen. Again, Sue, supported by Denny, organized that one as well. Very fun. Joanne brought Pepper. Lisa Estro got to know Pepper. They they shared the same room, so that was kind of fun. That was at Sue and Denny's condo. And then Greg got to ski with the ladies like all that day. Yeah, he was like a token male and looking happy. They're all looking happy, actually, aren't they? Beautiful day on the Friday and Saturday, and then that's what Sunday looked like at that top chalet. Love that gondola, always fun with that, and then that view of that lake. You just can't beat Lutsen. So if you haven't been to Lutsen, please, I ask you to think about it next year because it is such a great place. Then our big trips, Ross is going to talk about coming up. We'll spend a little bit of just one on each trip. So this was Mount Bachelor in Bend, Oregon. Beautiful place, beautiful skiing. First day was a little rough, but there are a few people that just went and stuck it out. Peter, Tim I'm looking at, Ross, I think you were there, a few of them. Mike, I got on the bus, the second bus, and then we saw it was really snowing up there, so we turned around and went back after that. Very fun, had a good time. We had a good time at Bachelor. And then Panorama in Canada. So for those of you that worked on that trip, I wonder if my little light works here, I don't know. But it's a long ways from Calgary to this place. Like really a long ways. It doesn't seem long now, but I'll tell you, it really seemed long on that bus ride both directions. Very, very fun time. Thank you for Gregory for filling in for Felix on that trip, because a lot of the pictures that come from that was really what Gregory had uploaded. So another good trip. And both of those were like 36 people, I think, Ross, for Bachelor, and a little more for Panorama?
36 for Panorama and 32 for Bachelor.
Okay, yeah, so very fun. We had a fun event that we went snowshoeing, and Gail, you kind of organized that, wherever Gail is, and that was very, very fun. Gail does have the biggest backpack I've ever seen a snowshoer ever have. I don't know what she had in that backpack. She's taking pictures, but I don't know what else was in there. But anyway, we had a really fun time, interesting time. The gal there in the middle was kind of, I'll call her a forest ranger, naturalist, who told us a lot of things I didn't know. And what she has in her hand there that Tavi's so interested in is basically she measures the snow. And I don't remember if this one was actually after she had put it in, I think, or basically we're standing at 7 feet of snow, right? 7, 8 feet of snow, so it was really cool. Yeah, it was really cool.